Hello everyone, it's Benny, and welcome to yet another live stream about... Actually, I do want to make sure this is... Alright, never mind. Just want to make sure about stuff. Anyways, I'm starting yet another live stream after my Dare Engine live stream, in case you can't tell from the video I just checked. And in this one, I'm going to be experimenting with software rendering. Specifically, I'm going to be trying out oh dear. Specifically, I'm going to be trying out a 3D software rendering technique that was chiefly known for its use in the game Doom, because it's very different from the one I'm using in the 3D software rendering tutorial. And well, I want to see how it works. I want to compare its benefits and merits and whatnot to this one's. And hello, Raymond. Welcome back to the rest of the live stream. So, anyways, I have some basic stuff I've set up, just so I have something. So, as you see, this is it. It's, well, I call my game. It's not really a game, I suppose, but got some squares and stuff being displayed, and that's about it. And just to be different, I've decided to do this one with Eclipse and standard Java coding conventions, because people always ask me about that. So why not? I'm not exactly a stingy programmer. I'll use pretty much any tool you want me to. Hello, Manolito, welcome back to the live stream. I believe that's all two of you. All one of you. I guess not too many people are interested in this, but oh well. For the two of you that are, the one of you that is, here's what I'm going to be doing. Now here, first of all, let's show you this. This is what Doom's source code looks like. This is Doom's inner rendering loop that does all the real magic and stuff. It looks like this. Pretty compact, pretty simple, and it revolves around the concept of texture mapping. So I think the first real step to playing around with Doom's style 3D software rendering is to actually have textures. So we create a constructor for bitmap that takes in a string file name. I haven't quite done this yet, but oh well, it's no big deal. I can easily get it working, especially since my Dare engine, which I just finished working on, has code for exactly that. Oh, it's under here. Oh, and you can go away. So yeah, I'm going to be stealing from, actually I should probably, yeah. Hello! Is that pronounced Trial? Either way, it's an interesting name. Hello, Trial. Welcome to the live stream. So, yeah, welcome to yet even more of me stealing my own code. Because I'm just that kind of person. So, under rendering. I really want to say it was under core, but no, it's under rendering. Bitmap, I have loading code, just gonna copy it because I'm lazy like that. And yeah. And it didn't copy, because I hit the wrong key, didn't I? Good job. Alright, let's try this again. Let's see if I can actually copy and paste correctly today. I know I'm tired, but I'm not that tired. Good lord. There we go. Yeah, I probably should have explained that when more than 2 people have joined the live stream. But you know, now that there's 5 people, that's plenty. That's fine. So, oh, and hello, Leonard Vollman. Welcome to the live stream. The reason I'm using Eclipse and standard Java coding conventions this time is just because a lot of people ask me about it. And I figure, yeah, why not? I'm a flexible coder. I can use pretty much whatever tool or coding convention you want me to. So why not? Here you go. You get to see me doing something different. And I get to try something new, because actually I don't think I've ever used just pure, strictly Java coding convention. I use elements of it every now and then, but never like the whole thing strictly. So, I don't know, it's something new. And let's go ahead and import stuff. And it still gives me an error for some reason. Okay, never mind. So the big thing I want to do here now is just say set stuff. Because I think that's the only... Oh, wait, no. I am going to need to change the pixel loading stuff. Because I've actually decided to use integer pixels in this case, because I'm not going to be doing any real pixel style manipulation stuff. Pixel level manipulation, so yeah. So this is going to be a bit interesting. It's not going to be byte array components. It's going to be in int array components. Or pixels. Or Sure, why not? It can be whatever, really. In fact, I'm gonna do that. I really don't need it since they're not. Oh, they are fine. Never mind. For a second, I thought they weren't final either, but yeah. And hello again, Technic. Hello again. Do you want? Is that pronounced just Kieran? Are the I and J just decoration, or is that Kieran J? Either way, welcome to the stream. The way I did it is I did sort of the cheaty way. I reinstalled and such. So yeah. Let's see. In fact, what I did is I installed and went to General Appearance, just so people know for future reference. Oh, apparently I didn't go under Appearance. Maybe it was Java Editor Appearance? Oh no. Buried somewhere in the depths of Eclipse file system menu is there the way to change the theme. So yeah. Anyways, I don't need component nonsense now because I'm not doing any fancy stuff, so really I can just do like this. Pixels equals pixels at the end. There, great. So now I think you should work. But you don't. Ah, okay. So this is not going to be iterated. This is going to be that one. Okay, good, good, good. Manolito, Manolito? No, Doom didn't use raycasting. It uses a hack with texture mapping where like if you render a wall, every row of pixels that's in the final screen is actually just a scaled row read down in the texture map. It's sort of hard to explain, but yeah, it's not quite that. It's a texture mapping trick that it uses to render 3D. And okay, so great. I think that works. Now I just need to go to screen and, well, test stuff out. This is an example code. I'm not going to worry too much about brilliant coding conventions, so I'm just going to have, I guess it's fine. Whatever. Private bitmap test texture. Sure. Here, test texture, new bitmap. And I'm going to earn the famous bricks.jpg because I always use bricks.jpg, don't I? And, oh yeah, that'll be fine. I will need to add that to... Yeah, I won't need to add it to the test project, but that's okay. I should be able to do that easily enough. So here you are, testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm going to copy from Dare Engine. Probably should have left that open. Oh well. Source. Res. Yeah, just going to copy the entire folder. No, I don't... Huh. Wonder why I have a res folder in my res folder. Huh. It's a little bit weird, but okay. I'll just delete that. I'll delete the sounds. I don't need those. It is on my to-do list. I haven't quite gotten to it yet, but it is on my to-do list. So yeah. All right. So now I'm gonna run, and you crash. So what on earth have... I forgot to add it to the Eclipse project. Yeah. It's always something I've never fully understood, like why Eclipse requires you to add the resource folder to the project. What if I do it? Oh. Does that actually fix it? No. Okay. It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. Alright, so add. Okay, it should be somewhere in here, shouldn't it? Maybe I have to like do properties explicitly add it to it here for some reason? I know I just did this recently for someone else's project they wanted me to build, but, well, source. Sure, I'm going to add res as a source folder. I think that's the trick you have to do. Don't know why Java forces you to do that. No. Okay, that's not the trick. I know there's some trick where you have to like add it in the project somewhere, but I don't remember exactly. It's just one of those weird quirks of Eclipse. Ah. No. Well, you know, there's another way I can do it. I can just do, other than this, I can change it to the other version of the command, which is this, if I can ever get over to it without it snapping back like that. Yeah. This one doesn't work in jar files, but I don't care about working in jar files. I'm just here to experiment. That's the whole point of this. one of the things, yeah, there we go. That is one of the things that's kind of nice about this, since this is just an experiment. I don't need to do anything fancy with like making sure that everything works perfectly. Just need to, well, make sure everything works perfectly in general. Just need to make sure things work at all, and then it'll work. Margin? That's a good thought, but I actually had accounted for that in a substring thing here. So no, that's not an issue. What can be drawn? Well, we'll see. But anyways, I might do networking eventually. It's just, I don't know yet. We'll see if it's significant enough to really cover. But yeah, we'll find out. Anyways, here I'm going to do draw image. It's going to be basically the same, except, why not? I'll just take in some bitmap other. I have a lazy program. I just want something working, something to prove that it's loading the image correctly. So it really just doesn't matter what I use to test it. So no, I'm not going to be doing the giant clipping routine of death that I used to do in the Dare engine. Just need to draw something on screen. So that'll make things a lot easier. A is less than, yeah, that'll work. So you could other get width. Oh wait, right, this is using lowercase now. Almost forgot to switch to Java coding conventions, but no. Right, so I'm just going to use pretty much just set pixel. How about this? And location. There. And okay, how about this? Our location, so this is the index in the other pixel array. And I'm going to have this block, which is I plus j times get width. So that's the location in this pixel array. And I'm going to set pixel at this lock to get pixel, or to other.getPixel at other lock. And I think that'll actually just do a basic image draw thing. I have a getPixel function, that is, which I don't, oddly enough. All right, that's simple enough. GetPixel, location, and it should return an int. There we go. So this should work, or at least do something. Let's just crash. It's always a valid option. And it's crashed on set pixel. Where's the stack trace? Okay. So line 83. What's I and J? 359, 480. Oh, I know why. The image I load is actually bigger than the screen. So, yeah, I'm just going to do other.getWidth and height over 2. Doesn't matter in this case. I'm just testing it out to make sure the image is actually loading. Yeah, there we go. So as you see, there are pixels from the other image, so other image is being loaded correctly. That's all I needed to know. So, for drawing things like Doom does. From my understanding, for walls and such, Doom uses I can never comment. Well, I guess I don't need to comment it. Well, I do, because it's temporary code and such, so I'll need to change it. All right. So my understanding is the way Doom does software rendering is based on walls. And then it fills in, the floors and such are filled in as the empty spaces between walls. And the walls are drawn with the draw column function. So that's really what I'm going to need to use here. So public void draw column. I take in some bitmap. I'll call it texture. And I'll have well, it's one of the reasons I did it. People were just kept asking about it, so just why not? I'm a flexible programmer. I can use really whatever convention I care to. So why not? I'll do something a little bit different. Yeah, this is all I know I need in draw column so far, so that's all I'm going to have. Now, Doom's inner loop looks like this. And unless I do something ridiculously clever, my inner loop's probably going to look a lot like this too. So, Dest plus equals screen width. Right, because it's being done on a basis of, yeah, y column. Okay, so I need some int dest lock. That's going to be also equal to 0 for now. It can be, can't they? Interested to know what you've learned about them. Specifically, because there's always more finicky things to discover. But yeah, they're definitely very finicky. So I'm going to need some dest lock. I'm going to need int draw count just to be a little bit more descriptive than Doom has. So yeah, do this while draw count minus minus is greater than 0. That's how the loop is. Oh, Doom is in C and this is in Java. So Java you can't do that. So yeah, we'll have to do greater than 0. Dest plus equals width. Okay, that makes sense. Dest lock plus equals. Well, sure, I'll have some int of a width equals. Oh, actually, it won't be. It'll be because I'm copying into this one. So yeah, it'll just be plus equals this width. And other than that, oh, fraction. Turn scaling. Okay. Well, that's sort of like the. Okay. Frac. Huh. I think frac is supposed to be like the source location and the floating point. I could be wrong about that, so I'll say that is equal to that. Say, and I'll have some steps, a flow source step, again, equal to 0.0. Step. Yeah. This is the way I'm going to be sort of trying to dissect it. I'm going to start with the inner loop they have, and then I'll sort of work backwards, trying and get the general rendering system they get. Okay, so I think that'll do all the stepping. So really, I just need pixels, some dest lock, because that'll do the sort of pointer stuff that Doom was doing. Java doesn't exactly have pointers, but this will work all the same. Color map and stuff, don't care. Source. Yeah, I don't care about that, do I? Wait, no, that's the texture. Okay, I do need that. That'll be the get pixel stuff. So, oh, I never noticed that. So I guess that's why Doom had that limit of like 128 pixels per texture patch or something. Huh, interesting. But anyways, either way, the ultimate census or conclusion between this is texture.get pixel source lock, right? Right. Source lock has to an int because Doom was using fixed point, not floating point. So that counts for all the bit shifting nonsense. You might actually need something, not something. What am I thinking of? I might actually need to convert this to fixed point later, just because. And I think floating point will work just fine for now. So if everything works on columns, then what? Keep in mind, this is me doing R&D stuff, so I don't entirely know what I'm doing just yet. Hello, ClickOLee. Welcome to the live stream. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm experimenting, trying to create a software renderer that works pretty much the same way Doom software renderer does. Right now, I've got Doom's inner loop, and it should be working, but need to feed it proper data, so that's what I'm working on right now. So count dest frac step. That's basically what I have right now, huh? YH, YL? Wonder where that's declared. Because I'm not in the tags directory, am I? That's okay. I'm still not in the tags directory, am I? That's okay. Now I can find it. Okay. DCYH. Wonder why it takes some parameters like this rather than just passing directly. Guess it has something to do with the technology at the time, but okay. So Y low and Y high. All right, that makes sense. So from some low Y location, some Y high location. All right, that makes sense. And you calculate count based on that. All right, so I'm guessing that's like a number of y pixels to draw, which makes sense if you think about it, but okay. And y high minus y low, right? So from here out, I think I actually, after I get this function working, I think I have a general idea of what I need to do to get it working like Doom does, but yeah, it's really just getting this function working that's the tricky part. Because this is when it does that, or this is when it does the trick to interpolate the texture mapping that I'm not entirely sure about. Anyway, so I got the count. Of course, if draw count is less than 0, return. Oh, right, in Java coding style. Now, range check, I can do that later. I don't care about that. Using the lookup table to avoid multiplying by screen width. Okay, so this is just determining x and y location to draw in. That's okay. I can easily calculate that. No, won't need to use lookup tables in this case. But what are you doing? Yeah, right. So it's really just I plus j times get width. So the only question is what's j and what's I. I believe j is y low, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. It makes sense because you're starting at the low y location. And column offset, is that actually part of the parameter? It is. Okay. And y. All right. So some int x location. Interesting. It's a very interesting function to be your low-level rendering function. It's one of the reasons why I'm experimenting with it. How would you make an effective 3D renderer with this as your base function? Guess I'm going to find out. Okay, so here it's calculating I scale, which I believe is also a parameter. Yeah. And texture mid. Okay, interesting. Okay, I guess that's how it counts for the avoiding the division at every pixel. It takes in a float scale, float mid. That's how it adjusts textures. Okay, that makes sense. I know, I'm just rambling at this point. But hopefully, I'll be able to experiment with this and see it in action. That's my goal with this. The frac step is the scale. Interesting. Frac is texture mid plus at times frac step. Okay. Well, I suppose I don't need to use texture mid right now, but that's okay. I can do it like this anyways. This will mean I need to do modulus with source lock, I think. But I can account for that and whatnot. I scale. Yeah, that should make sense. Frac texture mid plus y low minus center y. Center y, where does that come from? You know, maybe I should prepare this off screen, because right now I'm just using the code trying to figure out how it works. That's okay. It could always be worse. Okay, yeah, you know, while I'm at it, I'm just going to do this. And, you know, I could, right now, do the Doom style restriction of 128 pixel things. Or, you know, pixels per Y width and or for Y width and texture. Wait. Wait a minute. I wonder how to adjust for, like, X amount, because this... Right now, I don't believe this is adjusted for that. Oh, well. Oh, I bet you it adjusts the DC source with that. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, right now I'll just do modulus because I've got nothing better to use, really. And you know what, why not? I'll do ampersand 511. So it's doing bitwise and with 511. There you go. So we have an artificial limit of 512 pixels for texture height. No good reason, just, you know, actually that's true. There really is no good reason because it's slightly faster, but Should I get height? Good lord, don't be ridiculous. Okay, I think that's all I need to do that. Just need texture. Texture limit already exists, but center Y, that I am going to need to know because I don't. Because what is the center Y? Where is this set? Or don't care. Center Y. This might be tricky because I don't know where that's set. I don't know a good way to find where it's set. So that might just be a mystery variable that I need to play around with. Other than that, though, I think this is pretty much working. I think just, or it should work. You know, I think what center Y is actually is half height. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what it is, like the half height of the center of the screen. So let's try that and we'll see what happens. Yeah, okay. Good. So with that, this should be doing sort of Doom style software rendering. Except I still need that. There's just one more thing though. Since I'm almost positive Doom does the Y texture offsetting with, well, with BC source pointer, and we don't have pointers in Java, I think I'm going to need a new parameter. So I'll say, sure, I'll just take in a new parameter, int. Why not? It's something. It'll get the job done. I can do it like this. Just cast this to an int. After I do that, add textxstart. There we go. Or actually, you can do that at the end. So this plus. All right, that works. Okay, so I should have a Control-Shift-F and such, so everything's nicely aligned. I think with this, I can actually start testing this out and doing some drawing. Actual drawing. All right. So what should I do first? Well, first off, I should test the function, just with something, anything really. Scale, that's going to be interesting. I'm not entirely sure how that works yet. But everything else I think I'm pretty okay with. I'm going to need test texture. You need textxstart, just say 0, don't care right now. An X location here, I'll just say 10, doesn't matter. Y low, I'm going to say, all right, wait a minute. Now, are they doing Y low as the high pixels on the screen or on the low pixels? Because I know that can sort of be either way with rendering stuff. All right. I think low actually is supposed to be like that, so I think it's okay. So I'll just do like from 100 to 200, something like that. And scale, I'll just say 0.5f. Texture mid, I'll say 0.0f, don't care. Well, let's run. Let's see what happens. It crashes immediately. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So where did it crash exactly? Draw column here. Int source lock. All right, well, what are the parameters? What's source lock at? Why are you here? You're just here. You're literally just empty space to annoy me. Is there anything interesting here if I actually move this up? No, it's literally just empty space to annoy me. Huh. Maybe 0.5 is a little bit too intense for the scale value? Well, either way, source lock. Where are you? We're -40. So I can't imagine that's amazing. Oh, and for another thing, I'm pretty sure I should be doing source lock plus equals source step, and I'm pretty sure 0.5 is a little bit insane for that value, so let's do like 0.15 or something. Maybe, how about 0.05, even better. See what happens. You crash. Okay. Well, this is what research and development's like. You try stuff, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What's draw count at? 100. So that's to be believed. It has not stepped in the slightest. Hmm. Hmm. Well, why low minus half height? Oh, right. That's supposed to literally be the middle of the texture. Good job. Okay, let's try it out. Or test texture, get height over 2. In fact, I should probably just make that a default thing in there. Hey, I got one column of pixels in Doom style rendering. Yay! I'm definitely making this hard-coded in here, because that's ridiculous. Ah, you're right. I actually realized that, but thank you for pointing it out anyways. I appreciate it when people share stuff like that with me. Oh, and welcome to the stream. Oh, 0.5 seems to be a little bit low on that. Well, let's just, here, I'm rearranging stuff, so let's get rid of you, texture mid. I don't need you. Format the code. Ah, should be just texture at this point. And okay, that seems a little bit more reasonable. So again, I don't really know for sure what scale should be like. So this could be interesting. I is less than 100, I plus plus, sure. So I'm going to try drawing sort of one wall with this function. And I really don't know for sure how it's used yet, so I have an idea, but, don't know for 100% sure. So I'm just going to try this. I don't think this works. I'm pretty sure scale needs to change somehow. Okay, interesting. Definitely interesting. So I think maybe these need to be, hang on. Let's try scale equals 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say u minus scale and u plus scale. I don't know if that'll actually do anything, but we'll see. Oh, and this cast to an end and whatnot. I know. Just everything be cast to ends. Okay. That's... I'm not increasing scale. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say, like, scale plus equals 1.0. Something like this. Which still doesn't do anything. Strange. Well, no, that I'm really not sure why it's happening as it is. Is Y low and Y high supposed to be like in the texture or something? I'm not sure that would make very much sense. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be in screen space. Oh no, well that wouldn't make sense for source lock now, would it? Or would it? Huh. Well, then draw count would make sense if it was part of the texture, because it's scaling. You know, I'm really not sure. I'm going to have to experiment with this a bit. So what if I make this 0 to 300, just hard-coded? Okay, now it works. Oh, I know why, because I didn't declare it. Yeah. I have to declare scope scale outside the loop. And it crashes. In fairness, that's probably... Yeah, you're right. I just noticed that. So let's say scale over something like 10.0, because I'm pretty sure that's the issue. It's just the scale's getting too big. Or not. Or I can do something like, where are you? 100.0. There. Okay, very interesting. Well, in fairness, it's sort of giving an impression of 3D. It does look sort of like you're looking at a wall edge on like that, but it's not what we're going for yet. I know there's some way you can make, you know, a 3D looking wall with this, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. And we're going to be finding out. So, you know what? Since I'm supposed to be experimenting with Doom's code, might as well look at Doom's code for that. So, yeah. I'm going to steal it from Doom again. So where are you? I'm pretty sure it's under segs, but I could be totally wrong about that. I believe that's the inner loop that uses this. Render mask seg. Render seg loop. Is this the one that's like totally ridiculous and does 10 million things and actually ends up using the function? Because I think it is. Yeah, I think this is the function I'm looking for. What does arg column do? Something crazy. Okay, don't care. Yeah, I'll study it more off-screen, but right now I just want to play around and try to get something working. Because I know you can actually get working 3D with this. All right. Here's what I know Doom does. I know you have something like x1, 10.0. I don't care what the values are. I'll just put them all as 0. x1, x2, y1, y2. And I think Doom does it with like parametric coordinates, but that's okay. Doesn't matter in this case, don't think. Oh. X start 1, how about that? X end 1, Y start 1, Y end 1. We need like 4 coordinates. And I'll do the same thing for 2. So these are going to sort of like represent my 2D vertex, and I'm going to be trying to draw in 3D space. Now what I think has to happen, and I could be wrong, but I think has to happen. First off, I need to assign values to these. So play around a bit. 0, 0, 0, 0, don't. Okay, let's say it's at 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 3, 4. Sure, why not? Because it's something like this. And the perspective divide determines the scale that you interpolate between. Well, actually, perspective divide determines that there should be a valid scale value that I can just sort of do. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have some float, or no, I'm not going to have it float. I'm going to have an int x 0, int y 0. What do we do? 100, 200, 300? No. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to replace these values, because I think what I need to do is something like Actually, okay. How about this? In texture, I'll just do this flows because that's more general. All right, I just need to decide what I'm trying to do and try it. This experiment is supposed to be trying out stuff. Texture start. Texture lock. Sure. Start out at 0.0f. Texture lock step 1.0. There. This is what I'm trying to do. Replace this. Every time through, texture lock plus equals texture lock step. There we go. And I need to cast this to an end. That's fine. Now, I is for screen lock, so I can just do whatever I want with this. So I'll say x start equals end equals 200, sure. And sure. So just pass an I for this. I think this should do something. Yeah, okay, let's move the wall over. Not doing too much interesting just yet. So let's try changing text lock step. Let's see how that affects things. Try 0.01, so something really small. Okay, that seems to sort of invert it a bit. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's try something like 0.5. Not quite. It's using a lot of tricks like affine texture mapping, but this actually, if I remember correctly, I believe it is perspective correct for constant z, if you do it correctly. The question is, how do you do it correctly? And that I'm not entirely sure about. You know what, here? Let's change this back to 1.0. Or I'm going to change x start actually to 200, 300, because otherwise it's going to... It looks more like what you'd see in real perspective if it's somewhere over here-ish. You know, yeah, maybe it would help if I did divide by z and such, but Okay. Texture lock step, texture scale. Maybe I should just use scale here. Oh, it crashes. Okay, never mind. All right, how about this? I got an idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and draw a wall, but I'm going to use actual texture mapping for it, like proper texture mapping, and I'll sort of try and work backwards and see how I can get to the function that Doom uses. If nothing else, it'll get me something working without fiddling with parameters endlessly. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try to get proper texture mapping working. Well, not entirely proper, but proper for constant z anyways. J equals 0, j is less than 8. And, well, if I'm going to do this, I might as well start with what I already have. Yeah. That's what Wikipedia says. No. I know you have... There you go. I believe Doom's texture mapping scheme is affine for general 3D, but I believe it is perspective correct for the type of constant z 3D that Doom has. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that's true. If you're curious, though, I will be talking... I'm at least planning to talk about affine texture mapping in the 3D software rendering series. So, hey. Right. So I got the same code I did before. Now I'm trying to do something. Well, what I want to do really is I want to just forget about this function for a moment. Forget about all this. In fact, let's just forget about all of this. I'm going to start at... Yeah, let's do it the lazy way. J equals 0. A is less than get height a plus plus I equals 0. So this is going to be another pseudo 3D technique you can use. It's also constant z, and I believe you can derive Doom's way of doing 3D from it. So the trick is, first off, I need float half height. I believe it needs to be a float. It could be wrong. Does it? In fact, you know what? Here, I'm going to copy this from somewhere else because I have the pseudo 3D technique working elsewhere. I used it in here. Besides, I'm just using this to derive another technique that I want to play with, so why not? And, I didn't know I had to draw a triangle function in here. Interesting. Or draw scan buffer. Am I even in the right place? No, I am. Okay, good. Here we go. Whoops, wrong thing. Okay. So what I'm going to try and do here is use this function, this big, monstrous function, which, yeah, a little ridiculous, but hey, it works. Oh dear. And it's another pseudo 3D thing, except this one works, I believe, on rows rather than columns, but that's okay. 0, 0. Sure, that's all I care about for position. Let me move this above this so I don't have to scroll down so far to see the different parameters. Because there's about 1 minute of delay between what I do on stream until it actually shows up in the stream player. So that's where it is. It's not like it's different for me or anything. It's just there's delay from me recording the stream to the stream actually showing up. View angle. Fine. Wait, this is right. That's supposed to be like an angle. Believe it. Am I doing it taking that in as radians or not? I'm not taking it in radians. Okay. So I'll just do something like 0. Don't care. Field of view. Should I even keep that parameter around? In fact, I'm going to delete that. I don't care about field of view. So, yeah. I'll just change this to 90.0. I'll simplify that in a moment. Basically, this simplifies to 1.0f. Okay, sure, I simplify it now. Fine. Then everything works just fine. And oh dear, I need util.to fixed point. Such, and it's like everything I'm trying to do is so painful today for some reason. Okay, this... Alright, fine, fine. Plus this times height. If I can ever get to the right pair of parentheses. A Z-buffer? I don't care about Z-buffering. You can go away. Set pixel? Yeah, sure, you're fine. And current log? Yeah, sure, that's fine. Oh yeah, get width and get height needs to be changed. Oh well. Okay, so you finished actually using the function. It's taking entirely too long. Good lord. Floor height. 0.0. Ceiling height. 5.0. I'll just say that here. Floor height negative 5.0, 5.0, sure. Sure, negative 2.0, 2.0. I really don't care. Z clipping distance 0.1f, sure. Test texture, text reduction factor, I don't even remember what that does, so I'm just going to put an S and 0. What does that do anyways? Oh, I'll worry about it later. Do you work? That's the key question. Cancel. What still exists? Util.fit. Ah. All right, I'll be lazy. I'll copy from wherever you are. I know you're here somewhere. Here you are. Okay. You're in here. No. Well, then why do you still exist? Are you here? I did anyways. Oh, because it is the one over. I'm using Eclipse. Whoops. Silly me. Util to fixed point. Not a big deal. It's just a basic function. Doesn't really do anything important. Yeah, okay, I'll change these to use the new coding conventions. Anyways, what you've missed about the stream so far? Really not much. I've got Doom's core rendering function technically working, but I don't know entirely how to use it just yet. So I haven't been able to test that out. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm playing around with a different but similar pseudo 3D technique, because I believe I can eventually figure out how to use Doom's core rendering function with it. All right, sure, let's run. Let's see what happens. Nothing! Of course. How did I use it in there? Because I know I used it there. Game 3D, was it this where it is? Come on, here you are. I know you're here somewhere. Okay. I know, go away. That's strange, to say the least. Wonder why that's suddenly not working. Yeah, that's kind of true. What's fake? What's real? I mean, what makes something look 3D is always a trick, so, you know. Anyways, something. -1 plus y position 4.0 y position. Ah, yeah, that. Okay, so I use -1 and 4.0 here. So I guess that settles my ceiling parameters. And 100.0 for my z. Oh, that's z far clipping. That's probably why it's not showing up. Okay. Test image 32. All right, sure, I'll do 32 just because that's what they used. Ah, totally not what I'm going for, but hey, it's something. It's a pseudo 3D technique. Okay, so now it's time to get this working. We'll try and figure out how that works from this. Sonic, I know that's how you adjust the angle. That's not a question. The real question is just how do you get the draw column stuff working? So the way this works is it's stepping X and Z. Oh, click, this is using a perspective projection. It's using some clever tricks so you don't have to do perspective correction at every single pixel. You can do it per vertex and you still get proper texture mapping. That's the idea. We have this working right now. It's doing perspective correction per scan line and in this function, which is kind of okay, but still not what I'm going for. Yeah, this is where the perspective divide's happening. It's the Z chord. So, fixed X. Okay, and that's fine. Well, that's not really what it's supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be able to make it look like a 3D wall. Like if you actually drew it with well, I don't want to say an actual, but a more general triangle rasterizer. So, or like OpenGL or something. Of course, it's not working yet, but, well, yeah. Fixed X and text -1. All right, that should work. All right, this has a limitation that everything has to be multiple of 512. That's fine. I believe it is. In fact, it is. It's 512 by 512. Fixed X step, fixed Y step. Okay, so this is all just texture mapping nonsense. I'm changing this back to 1.0 because, yeah. There we go. Now we got big, gigantic pixels of doom. And you are off. Maybe somehow, for some reason, changing field of view back to the 70.0 thing will fix stuff for some reason? I don't know. I really don't know why this is appearing like with a slightly offset sense of perspective this time. Wasn't doing that before, so what the heck? Well, okay, let's hardcode 70.0. See what happens. I really should have gotten this working before playing around with stuff. And now it looks even stranger. Wonderful. So, I think I know why. This is designed to work with text components? No, it's not. This was still using integer components, so I really... All right, well, I really don't know why this wasn't working, or this isn't working. Maybe I really need it to be 800 by 600, and that's causing the issue? That's what I had before? No, it's just not working. Well, luck is not on my side with getting 3D working today, is it? Yeah. Well, I should say, one of the big reasons I'm interested in doing this sort of, as you people might want to call it, pseudo 3D stuff, is because reasonably, the pseudo 3D types of things, you can make functioning games with them fast enough that I could reasonably do a pseudo 3D game for Ludum Dare. So that's really my big interest in why I want to do this stuff. Unfortunately, I seem to be having a big, gigantic pain just getting anything working. Which I guess happens sometimes, but it'd be nice if it didn't happen now. Oh well. So I think I'm going to go back to my draw column code if I can ever uncomment it and not just do that. Or, not toggle and whatnot. Okay, so this back to the draw column stuff. And you crashed because I forgot to change that back. That's fine. Where are you? No, don't show me that. Don't show me bitmap. I want to change the stuff in screen. Scale over 100.0. Okay. You work. Change you to scale over 10. You crash. Change it to... Dagnabbit, stop it. Scale over 50. You crash. I really wish you'd stop taking me into bitmap every time you crash. Oh well. Right, so it seems to be affecting the source location because of the scale. All right, let's try just playing around with this in real time. Let's say change it to 90. You don't really fix anything? What if I change it to 1,000? Oh, okay, that looks more perspective-y. I didn't. People just want to see me use... Eclipse in quote-unquote standard Java coding convention, so why not? I'm a flexible programmer. All right. The 250, okay, that's, interesting. So I guess that's what scale is doing. Should probably scoot you over a bit so I can see the whole thing. All right, what if I change this to something like 150 minus scale? Okay, it just shrinks you down. Yeah, it's not doing very much, is it? Actually, hang on. We changed it to 190. Ah! It has a bit of sense of perspective going on there. A little bit. It's not perfect, but it's there. 300, you're going to crash. Okay, good. That's fine. 300, a little bit too much. I need 260 or something. I think that won't crash. Yeah, it's an edge case. Okay. So 259 won't crash. Yeah, okay. And now I can play around with it and make it to like 150 or something. Oh, wait, no, it's not 3D. It's just I'm tricking myself. Dagnabbit. Well, I know where the 3D is supposed to come from. It comes from scaling that up based on the perspective. Okay. I think I'm starting to get an idea of how this is supposed to work. So you're going to scale this up based on perspective, right? Right. This needs to be scaled based on perspective. The perspective scale comes from the D value, and that was from that view-frustum scaling equation that I talked about in that one video. I can't remember right now. Oh, wow, I really can't remember. Okay. Actually, I'm curious. What happens if I change to something like I over 2? Oh, wrong scale. Extra lock, okay. 0.5 doesn't change very much. I just adds aliasing. 2. Pushes you in. So that doesn't really fix anything. I think this depends on everything being relative to the center of the screen, even X and such. Might be why I'm having an issue. You know what? I don't seem to be having good luck with getting this working today. Which is kind of unfortunate, because I was really hoping to be able to show you some interesting experimentation, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be happening. So you know what? I'm just going to cut the losses, so to speak, and end the stream here. So yeah, I'll see you later. At the end of the stream. Sorry it wasn't the most exciting stream today, but hey, I tried. Things could have been interesting, but they weren't as interesting as I hoped. So thank you everyone for attending. I'll see you next time. And next time, I'll try and make sure this is actually reasonably working. See you then.